you guys, you've been doing a lot of fantastic work. Right, in this unit, we've only got a few days left. At the end here, we're focusing on theme. All right, and we're going to use everything we've learned so far to help us develop ideas about themes. Right, and today's lesson is really important because what we do is we move from motifs. What are motifs? What's a motif? Motif.
Subject and author is preoccupied.
Right, so remember, the motif is an idea that comes up over and over again, a subject, a thing that comes up repeatedly throughout a book or a series, or even through an author's whole collection of books or stories. Like, for example, I think Stephen King, he's a horror writer. I think, I don't know for sure, but I think like there's a train in all of his stories. Right? And there's a reason the train is there. Like it's significant, it symbolizes something. But that's like something that keeps coming up. Right? And we're noticing these in our own stories. Yesterday, we talked about motifs in You Belong to Me, right? This wonderful song and wonderful video. We enjoyed it yesterday. Do you remember? Do you remember this video? I don't know why my full screen doesn't work. So just turn for a second and talk. What were some motifs from this video yesterday?
Being yourself, crushes,
Tom. Partners over there. Keep talking. I heard all of them except one.
Shyness.
Okay, I've heard them all. I heard fitting in, I heard being yourself, I heard shyness, I heard crush, a high school crush. Yesterday we talked a lot about betrayal. Miss B and I are still debating how much betrayal there is in the video, right? But today we're going to take fitting in. Right? We're going to go through this process of going from motif to theme, right? Because when we write about the things we read, okay, to write about a theme, you got to be able to create one, right, and say one in a thematic statement or a theme statement. So that's our goal today. We're going to move from a motif to a theme, right? So the first step is to choose an interesting motif. And from yesterday, I'm going to choose fitting in. Okay? So fitting in. Next, I'm going to go through the story again, asking questions like this. What were the big lessons learned related to that motif? Or what are the overarching messages about that motif? What are the big lessons taught? What are the hidden messages related to that motif? Right? So I'm thinking about these things. I'm going to go back and watch it again with that question in mind. Okay, so the one I'm going to focus on is hidden messages. So I'm interested in hidden messages about the motif of fitting in. So what I'm going to do is kind of talk through this while we watch parts of the video without sound. Okay, so remember, the motif that I'm thinking about is fitting in, and what I'm looking for are any hidden messages related to fitting in. Okay? So I'm thinking back through the video, and I remember this. I see her here, and she's trying on different clothes, different hairstyles, different colors, lots of different clothes, right? And then she's dancing on her bed. So I ask myself, what's the author trying to tell me here? How's it related to fitting in? Right? How's it related to fitting in? And I think that maybe the author's trying to show me that fitting in isn't easy. It seems like she's looking for something. She's looking for a new way to look, to appear that would, looking for a new way to look. Maybe she's asking herself, what can I wear to fit in? And she's confused. And here she's kind of frustrated, so I'm not going to change it all. I'm just going to dance on my bed. Right? So I think from that section there, right, I think that, high school is a time when students, young people struggle to figure out who they are. Right? They struggle to figure out who they are. They try on different things to see, is this me? Is this me? Who am I? Right? That's what they're thinking. And I think this part of the video shows that. Do you guys agree? Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to show you another section now. And I want you to do the thinking this time. And tell me how this piece of the video connects to maybe some hidden messages related to fitting in. Okay, and then I'm sure you remember. It's right here. What's the section here? She's herself. Football game's going on. There's cheerleader Taylor and band Taylor. Okay, so this is happening. He goes to the cheerleader girl. She's talking to another guy. So, turn and talk. How might this part relate to hidden messages about fitting in? Tom, scoot back. Tiffany, scoot up. Turn and talk. So what did you see? Did you see anything in there related to fitting in? Well, that's one motif, right? But we're focusing on fitting in. So when we watch that, we're thinking about, what does it suggest to us about fitting in? All right. So you guys are not very talkative today. Daniel, why don't you come down here? I feel like you're in the other room. And you can sit on the carpet. Well, then it's difficult to talk to your partner when you're sitting up there. Can you sit down on the carpet for me? Thank you. So, when I saw this, okay, it seems like, she's there, she's in the band, she's on the sideline, she realizes that he doesn't even notice her. So I think maybe the author is showing us that sometimes being yourself means you're invisible. So maybe that's a hidden message there. That sometimes when you are yourself, like her here, when she's herself, she's invisible. Right? So it kind of confirms this idea that like being yourself is hard. Right? Now we move on to the story. Right here. She takes off her glasses, fixes her hair, puts a dress on. They fall in love. What's the author suggesting about fitting in? What do you think? Turn and talk. What does she do?
Change yourself and understand.
Turn and talk.
Fit in all the popular areas and try to actually I'm just kidding.
Okay, I like what I'm hearing. Many of you are saying the word change. She's changing this too. Okay, so what we see at the end, right, is just she changes, right? So throughout this whole video, relating to this motif of fitting in, we have a scene where the author shows us that it's hard to be yourself. She's trying on all the different clothes. Then another when she's being herself and she's invisible. And then at the end, it's like the author saying, it's hard not to change yourself for love. Okay? So a hidden message might be that it's hard not to change yourself for love. Okay? And I don't know if that's the message that the author intended to send. Right? But what we did, okay, to arrive there, right, we followed these steps. Okay, I chose an interesting motif. Right? I chose fitting in. There are many in your books, right? In this video, there was betrayal. There was the crush. Right? We could ask. We could do this with a high school crush and watch the video again. And what does the author suggest about high school crushes? And we could go through the same process with that motif. Right, then we went back. We were looking for a hidden message. We went back, we watched it again. We identified spots that connected to that motif and talked about what message the author shares or what the author suggests about that motif. And at the end, we finish with a theme statement. Okay, so you may know, do you know the term theme statement from last year? Thematic statement is what you know, right? Okay, so this is your opinion about what the author is suggesting about the motif. That's what makes it a theme. Right? And just like your characters have many traits, your stories have many themes. Right? So, for you guys, the challenge is, when you develop a theme, okay, to test its value, right, you need to examine your evidence. Right? And the main themes, the big themes, the major themes in your books will have evidence from all throughout the text, right, in more than one character. And then you have minor themes. Right? So part of what you're being asked to do in this is identify those motifs, develop them into themes, and then support those with evidence from throughout the text. Okay? And this is how you get there. These are your steps. So what I want you to do now, okay, I want you to work with your partner and think about a book that both of you have read in this unit. Okay, some of you are reading different books at different times, but most of you have read all the same books. I want you to make a list of 2 or 3 theme statements from books you've read. Once you have them, you can go back to your tables and start reading for today. But your ticket off the carpet is 2 to 3 theme statements that you've created with your partner. Okay? By going through these steps. Do we know what to do? So move around and sit with your partner if you're not with them now.